will he get the same kind of unconditional love and support from King Charles and from the Prince of Wales? Remains to be seen.
A little nugget in the book that I thought was interesting is that you write that the Queen Elizabeth paid for Charles's engagement ring to Diana. Do we know if Charles paid for Harry's engagement ring to Meghan?
Oh no, he didn't have to pay for it. It was Diana's. Oh, I'm sorry for Hannah. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Now you've got me. I don't know. That's a very good question. I would actually probably have thought so, actually, but that's a guess. Yeah. That's an interesting thought. I don't know.
I know, it just popped in. I was like, I wonder if he had to pay for that one as well. Talking about Prince Harry, obviously Spare is right around the corner. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Have you heard anything that's going to be included in this memoir?
Well, I mean, it's pretty understandable. It starts off with his walking behind his mother's coffin, and that's what introduced the world to Harry. Actually, those 5 letters, "Mummy," in the card on the coffin, and it will deal with his life in the army, the fallout from his mother's death, his relationship with his brother and his father, and the rest of the royal family, and the Queen, and it'll carry, suitably laudatory remarks about the Queen. I think having read Mo Ringer's previous works on Agassi and Phil Knight, it will be thoughtful, and it will make headlines.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you feel like this could cause an unforgivable rift between Harry and the royal family, or do you feel like maybe it could bring them together once again, depending on what he writes, I guess?
It depends on the contents.
Right.
But, I think that the royal family will be bracing themselves for revelations. That's all that to be said. They're a funny family, because they all write books about, William hasn't, but Harry has, Charles has, Diana did with me, Charles did with Jonathan Dimbleby, and they say things about their family which are unnerving, but they'll all meet again for Christmas.
Right.
So Harry, William may find it hard going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you heard anything about their relationship, William and Harry, at this point?
Well, it's not close, is it? By any stretch. What I've heard is that Harry's bought himself a $22 million dollar house at Hope Ranch in Santa Barbara, and that's his forever home. So I think he's made his bed literally in California. And, I don't really see them ending up back in Britain, because they've carved out a life for themselves here.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like Harry was at peace with his relationship with the Queen when she passed?
Good question. Let me think about that. I think Prince Harry was devastated by the death of the Queen, and really regretted the fact that he didn't spend some of the time in the UK. He did spend some of the time in the UK. Well, sorry, he'll have been pleased that the Queen finally got to meet Lilibet. That would have been a consolation. I think he will have grieved over the fact that he wasn't able to get to Balmoral before she passed, but then that goes for the rest of the children as well, apart from Anne and Charles, who were there. It seems to me he had a special relationship with the Queen. She always had a soft spot for him. He could always jump the line to have for an audience, which drove the courtiers mad, because they would be waiting days, sometimes weeks, to see her, and he would swoop in. And he had that kind of ability, I think she always had a soft spot for him as well, because obviously what happened to him. But he was always, he was able to buy a, funny presence like "Ain't Life a Bitch," with his and that singing Trout.
Yes.
Got her to do the boom thing with Barack and Michelle Obama. So he had a special relationship with the Queen. And as I say in the book, his most forgiving and supportive supporter at court, the Queen, is now no longer. Will he get the same kind of unconditional love and support from King Charles and from the Prince of Wales? Remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen. I mean, in the little things that we have seen, in the the King's first speech, he did, it seemed like he was extending some olive branches here and there throughout, the time around the funeral. I mean, do you think that this relationship can be repaired? And if Harry even wants that?
I mean, all relationships can be repaired. I mean, but I think that Harry's made a decision to stay in California. He's bought his forever home, and and that's it. And he's got a wife who much prefers to be in California than in London.
Yeah.
And so, as in most marriages, the woman has the final say.
And it seems like she definitely has the final say. Andrew, when people read The Queen, Her Life, what are you hoping that they take away from this book? And, what do you feel like she would have wanted her legacy to be?
Well, I hope that people take away the development of the character, the many facets of her humour, her sense of duty and sense of forgiveness as well, and her Christian duty, but also her development from being this woman who was shoved into this, who came into this job very prematurely, and had to organise her life around that, and was assailed by a tsunami of issues from the moment she got behind the desk. And to someone who became a very relaxed monarch, who was a grandmother to the nation, who saw Britain through some of its most difficult times, notably the pandemic, with her famous speech. And I think you see someone who, by the end, was really loving the job and enjoyed every minute of it. And even so, we have somebody who starts off not wanting cameras at the coronation, to somebody jumping out of helicopters at the Olympics.
Yeah, seriously, what a life it really is. You said something interesting, that you really started to enjoy the job at the end. Do you feel like King Charles is enjoying the job so far?
I think he'll be compressing, making every minute last for a lifetime, because he's waited a lifetime for this. And he's on a part. Rotten eggs aside, he's got a fair wind from the British public.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below, and visit usmagazine.com.